Attention real estate investors. Are you looking to diversify your investments in a growing industry and collect frequent income? You should check out Image Studios Salon Suites. We offer an investment opportunity where real estate comes together with beauty and wellness. We rent turnkey studios to beauty professionals and are on track to have over 100 locations open this year across the country. Image Studios is a unique investment opportunity, and we're building an incredible team of high-caliber entrepreneurs from coast to coast. We're the leader in the industry and poised for tremendous growth. Interested in owning your own Image Studios franchise? Contact us today. Visit imagestudiosfranchise.com to find out more. That's imagestudiosfranchise.com.
Gives you a closer look at the events that happened around Maine this week.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm your host, Cindy Campbell. November is Lung Cancer Awareness Month, and so the folks at Northern Light Health reached out this week about their cancer screenings. Before we get to my interview, let me share with you some of the sobering statistics that they sent to me. Every 3.3 minutes, someone in the U.S. dies of lung cancer. Lung cancer kills 433 Americans each day. Just to put that in perspective, that's the same number of seats on a 747 airliner. Lung cancer kills almost 2 times as many women as breast cancer and has held that position for more than 30 years. And Maine lung cancer rates are 30% higher than the national average. I wanted more information, so I talked with Amy McClary, who is a patient navigator for the lung cancer screening program at Northern Light Health. Amy, how prevalent is lung cancer in Maine?
The rates for lung cancer in Maine are actually 30% higher than the national average. In lung cancer, compared to breast and colon cancer, it claims more lives than breast and colon cancer combined. So even nationwide, it's a huge problem.
Wow. The statistics you sent me said twice as many women die of lung cancer as breast cancer. That's just mind-blowing.
Yeah, and when it comes to breast cancer, I think as a woman, you always think, when I hit 40, I need to have my mammogram. But lung cancer screening is still a very new screening, so we don't think of it as much as we do breast cancer.
So when we think lung cancer, I think we always think of smoking, but are there other things that can cause lung cancer?
Yes, certainly. So, we know community exposures, occupational exposures, all of that can play into it, as well as, secondhand smoke and hereditary components. But unfortunately, at this time, to be screened for lung cancer, it's all based off from age and if you're a current or former smoker.
Okay. So what are some common early symptoms of lung cancer?
So often we hear patients complain of cough, coughing up blood, shortness of breath, weight loss, but typically signs for lung cancer don't appear until it's a late stage. So those early stage 1, stage 2 cancers are often asymptomatic or without symptoms, so patients don't know they have any cancer.
And is it curable, or is lung cancer always terminal?
So it certainly can be curable, but to be curable, it's really got to be diagnosed in those early stages. And that's why lung cancer screening is so important, because it can detect those nodules at an early stage when patients have more treatment options available to them. When we get into stage 3, stage 4 lung cancers, unfortunately, patients just have fewer options for treatment.
So you've kind of answered my next question here, but there are tests that can detect lung cancer early?
Yep, so that's what a lung cancer screening is. So it's a low-dose CAT scan. There's no IVs, no dyes, nothing. The scan takes 3 to 5 minutes, and if you meet the eligibility, it really can save your life. It can pick up nodules as small as 1 to 2 millimeters.
So it's a CAT scan, so it's as easy as just lying there and letting the machine do the work.
Exactly. It takes 3 to 5 minutes. Oftentimes, you don't even need to change into a gown. They'll slide you in and out 3 to 4 times, and we get somewhere between 700 to 800 images of your chest.
Okay, so how do you know that you should go in for a screening? At what point do you say, I think I'd like to get screened?
Start talking with your primary care provider. If you're between the ages of 50 and 80 and have a smoking history, there's a good chance you'll qualify. Current guidelines for criteria for screening and for insurance coverage, patients have to be between the ages of 50 and 80, be a current smoker or one that's quit within the last 15 years, and have what we call a pack year history of 20. So for easy math, that's a pack a day for 20 years or half a pack a day for 40 years.
So if you think there's a chance that you fall into that category and you could qualify for a screening, it's worth it to have that conversation with your doctor.
Absolutely. Absolutely, and be very honest about your smoking history, because usually that's where we see patients either qualify or they don't. So be very honest and open to your provider about your smoking history so we can get you screened.
Why would you say that? No one ever lies to their doctor and says, no, I don't do that.
Yeah, I know there's always fear, when you tell your provider you're a smoker, but in this case, just be very honest, because it really can make the difference of whether we can scan you or not.
And could literally save your life if they catch it early.
Absolutely. I mean, stage 1, stage 2 cancers are very treatable. Since the lung cancer screening program started here in Eastern Maine in 2014, about 70 to 75% of the cancers we detect are stage 1 or stage 2.
Wow. And that is something that folks can get through Northern Light hospitals.
Absolutely. So all of our hospitals offer screenings, whether you're in the county or down in Southern Maine. Your Northern Light facility has the ability to screen you.
And more information about lung cancer screenings available on the website?
Yep, or you can call me directly. The number to the program is 973-5822. Again, that's 973-5822. I'm happy to answer any questions you might have and help you get your screening done.
Find more information at northernlighthealth.org/EMMC-LCS. Next, we wanted to remind folks about the importance of protecting themselves against what police call crimes of opportunity. Here's Lieutenant Wade Betters with the Bangor Police Department. So, Wade, we're talking about things like people going into cars and taking things out. I know you often refer to that as a crime of opportunity. What does that mean? What's a crime of opportunity?
Lots of people are out there a lot of times at night, but also during the day. And when it comes to car burglaries, they will go around a parking lot. They will go down a city street, a residential street, and they will simply pull the door handles of your vehicle. So many cars are left unlocked that it's very rare that people have to force entry into a car in order to make entry. So these people doing this will literally go from car to car, simply checking to see which ones are unlocked. And if you've left your door unlocked, they're going to get inside your vehicle and rummage through it, take things from it. Remember, a lot of vehicles have trunk releases from the inside, so if you have something in your trunk but you've left your door unlocked, a lot of times thieves can still get to those items by pressing the unlock button from inside the vehicle.
Right. And what kinds of things are they looking for? What kinds of things are they most often apt to take?
So first and foremost would be cash, loose change, purses, wallets, electronics, phones, computers, backpacks, anything like that. They're looking for items that are readily available to remove and carry off without being detected. So, I mean, someone definitely would steal a very large TV from the back of your car, but sometimes people won't do that because they know they can't walk away or walk down the street without being spotted for something like that. So think of it as small electronics, phones, iPads, loose change, cash, purses, wallets, sometimes even clothing will go in. Unfortunately, we've had reports over the years of handguns or firearms being taken from vehicles as well.
Wow. I once had a bottle of Tide taken out of my car. Sitting in a parking lot.
Anything of value, sometimes things are taken as kind of a head scratcher why they would take a certain thing. And maybe someone is going to use it, like in your case, maybe they were going to use the Tide to do some laundry. Right. But oftentimes we see people take things that can be resold, whether it's sold on social media or taken to a pawn shop. They're looking to get items of value that they can quickly turn over into cash.
Okay. So obviously the way to prevent this is to lock your car.
Yeah, absolutely. Locking your car is the best way to keep the bad guys out. It's unlikely they will force entry into your vehicle unless they can see something through a window that would make it worth it for them to take that risk. In the state of Maine, it's a misdemeanor to open a vehicle door that's unlocked or reach through a window and remove something from the vehicle. But if you force your way in, break a window, rip the door open, and you take something from the vehicle, it becomes a felony. So some of the bad guys out there do know that, and they won't force entry into your vehicle unless they can clearly see something in there that is worth the risk. So if you have a high dollar item or a purse or a wallet there, make sure you conceal it inside your car so it cannot be seen through the windows.
Tuck it under the seat, put it in the glove compartment, put it in the trunk, just make sure you lock the doors.
Absolutely.
Okay. How about when you're parking your vehicle in public? Should you be parking closer to the building?
Well, it always helps. I see a lot of people, especially at nighttime, will try to park around light poles and that type of thing, which is always a good idea. A lot of businesses now have security cameras, and the closer you park to the building, it is easier for the security cameras to record what happened at your vehicle or record you as you're in the parking lot. So we recommend that as well. But in the end, because there are so many car doors left unlocked, if you simply just lock your door, there's a good chance that if someone comes and attempts to get in and they find find that your door is locked, they're just going to quickly keep on moving. A lot of these people will do this in teams during the day, and at nighttime someone will act as a lookout, and so someone's pulling car doors and whatnot, they're going to have a heads up when you're coming out of the store or coming back towards your vehicle, or if the police car is driving by. So I say that just so I want to educate people, to let them know that when they see a couple people that are acting suspicious in and around their neighborhood or in a parking lot that don't appear to be going to a vehicle, they appear to be hanging out or walking by several vehicles, and really they look like they're up to no good, we'd appreciate a phone call on that. Any local police department would like to know about activity like that so we can come and identify the people involved.
Okay. Crimes of opportunity can also apply to houses, correct?
Absolutely. The same rules apply to homes. If you leave your front or back door unlocked, a window open or an unlocked window is never a good thing, especially if you have items of value that can be seen through that window. If they have a high value and they can be seen through your window, it is awful tempting for people who are out there looking to take those type of items. So remember, ground floor, first floor windows left unlocked provide an easy opportunity for people to make entry into your home. And again, sometimes people do not spend very long inside your home at all. They'll be in and out very quickly, especially when they're only going in to get something they've seen through the window.
So keeping valuables away from the entry, so say taking your computer and putting it down the hall in your bedroom or something, does that help? Because do they tend to wander around the house or just grab what they can grab when they walk in?
If they're feeling confident and the house is completely vacant and they might spend a little bit of time in there walking around, that does happen every now and then. Okay. Generally, these people are not violent. They're not looking to harm or hurt anybody. They're just looking to take something that they can quickly exchange for cash. But at the end of the night, if you have an office or you're working on your computer in the living room, in your living room or bedroom window, whatever, there's a shade, and you're going to plug your device in at the end of the night, just make sure it can't be seen from the window. Because if someone comes walking by and shines a flashlight in there and sees that you have a computer and the lights are out, it's 3 in the morning, you might be sleeping, you might not have a dog or an alarm system, they may take advantage of that opportunity and go through an unlocked door or window just to take that item.
Okay. What's your best advice? If you wake up in the middle of the night and there's someone in your house, do you hide and call the police, or do you confront them?
So I guess it's a little bit of a to each their own. If someone's in your house, most of the time when that happens, it's the bad guy does not know that you're in the home, or he or she may know that, but they're hoping to go in and out of your home undetected. So coming back to the fact that most of these people are not violent, they're just opportunistic thieves. If you sound off, if you make a noise, if you turn a light on, if you announce to them, most of the time they will flee that property extremely quickly. But you have to make a judgment call in that moment. You have the right to defend your house, your property, and your personal safety. I think state law now requires, if possible, if it doesn't jeopardize your safety, for you to give a warning to an intruder before you move to like a deadly force situation. And again, that warning is something they want from you if it's not going to put your personal safety at risk. So if you're upstairs and somebody's crashing around or trying to do something in the downstairs of your house and they have no idea that you're home, give us a call any way you look at it, but you could stay silent and give the police a call, and then we'll come and deal with it. Or you could turn a light on or yell or something, and most of the time people like this are immediately spooked and they'll take off running.
All right. Another hot commodity right now is bicycles, right? How do people protect their bicycles from being stolen?
It's so hard to do. We encourage people to get really heavy-duty chains and bike cables and things like that and lock them up to secure posts, cement columns, bike racks, and things like that. Unfortunately, some of the thieves out there will have some of the best bolt cutters available, and they can cut some of these chains. Some of them are much harder to do, but oftentimes they don't have to work on cutting the big heavy-duty chains or really secured bicycles, because there are so many other bikes that are not secure to that level that it's just easier to take those other bicycles.
Right.
So you got to remember, if you have your bikes on your porch, you have a walk-up porch or an entryway that can be seen from the street, and you leave them there, even if you tie them up or chain them up, if it's a fairly small chain or a cable, they're just going to cut that chain and take the bikes. If you don't chain them up at all, they're just going to go up on your porch and take the bike and ride it away.
Right.
So that's the thing. We encourage people to not leave their bikes outside where they can be seen. If they're going to be unattended, don't leave them where they can be seen. So that means put them in in a storage shed, but also lock that shed. Put them inside the entryway of your home. If you live in an apartment building, if possible, take the time to bring the bike up the stairs and put it inside your apartment building, or at least in the common hallway where it cannot be seen. Don't leave your bike unlocked when you go. You might take it for a ride to a hiking trail or to someone else's house or to a business. Don't leave it unsecured for very long, because bikes are a huge target of thieves right now.
Okay. Is this a Facebook Marketplace? Is it likely that your bike may show up on Facebook Marketplace?
So they are sold on social media platforms, Craigslist, Uncle Henry's, you name it. A lot of it sometimes is word of mouth as well. But the thieves are taking these bikes. A lot of times we get them if we do a search warrant at an active drug house. I've seen many, many bikes, dozens of bikes collected at some of our local drug houses before. So people are taking them and they're trading these bicycles into people in exchange for illegal drugs. So a lot of the people that take in these bicycles are very quick to begin to alter them. They'll paint them, they'll remove the serial number, they will take a high-end bicycle frame and they'll rebuild it with cheaper components and sell it at a higher price. They'll in turn take the higher-end components like the rims, the derailleur, the brake system, then they'll sell those independently to make even more money. So it's difficult for us. I mean, I would say right now we have at least 200 or 300 bicycles that we've had in storage over the past year and a half to 2 years that have been seized by us, but we cannot locate an owner for. And they're not all coming from Bangor. Some of them come from surrounding areas as well. So that adds to the challenge and the fact that some of the serial numbers are obliterated, but oftentimes most people do not write down the serial number of their bicycle once they buy it. And that's one thing that could really help us maybe make an identification on maybe the entire bike, but at least the frame, so we can get some of those parts back to the rightful owner.
Okay.
But stealing bikes have become a form of currency in the drug world, and that is a fact. So I've seen it many times over. You can either bring cash, gun, or a bicycle, or in some cases high-end sneakers to some of these drug houses to trade them for drugs.
Wow.
And that's why they've become a form of currency.
Okay. All right. Speaking of the drug world, let's touch on real briefly here. There are needle disposal boxes around the city of Bangor now, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Where are those located?
So we have some down on the waterfront, and we have some over on the, we call it the footbridge, along the walking trail on the Kenduskeag Stream, between Harlow Street down behind Penquith Cap, and it stretches over to the opposite side of the Kenduskeag Stream below Coe Park. We have them over there as well. Unfortunately, we still don't see a lot of people using the syringe boxes. They are in parks as well, and it's a very, very frustrating problem.
Very dangerous for those to be on the ground. A kid could come along and pick one up.
Absolutely, or step on one. A lot of them are uncapped when we find them. Some of them do have the caps on. Now, some people do use the box, but it doesn't seem like very many people are doing it. And it's so frustrating for us and for people who are trying to use public spaces, and they're on the side of the road. They can be in a shopping complex, parking lot. They just seem to be everywhere nowadays, and it's a huge problem. One of the things that if people are actively using and they have a need for syringe use, you can throw needles out in the regular trash as long as you put them in a solid plastic container like a laundry detergent bottle or a good thick soda bottle, screw the cap on, then tape the cap closed and write on the outside of the container sharps. Then you can just throw that right in your regular trash. And so I think sometimes people forget that they can do that, and they just get nervous and they just throw them out their car window, or they just leave them on the ground, and it's just a huge problem. And boy, if anybody sees anybody discarding syringes on the ground, we'd love to get a call on that so we can track that person down.
Remember, even if you're home and your car is in your driveway, it's still important to keep things locked up tight. I'm Cindy Campbell. Enjoy the rest of your weekend and stay healthy.
Join us again next weekend for Maine Concerns with your Town Square Media News team.
Maine's #1 for news.
Attention real estate investors. Are you looking to diversify your investments in a growing industry and collect frequent income? You should check out Image Studios Salon Suites. We offer an investment opportunity where real estate comes together with beauty and wellness. We rent turnkey studios to beauty professionals and are on track to have over 100 locations open this year across the country. Image Studios is a unique investment opportunity, and we're building an incredible team of high-caliber entrepreneurs from coast to coast. We're the leader in the industry and poised for tremendous growth. Interested in owning your own Image Studios franchise? Contact us today Visit imagestudiosfranchise.com to find out more. That's imagestudiosfranchise.com.